Thank you, Katie. Well, kids today, they can get internet access anywhere. Laptops, cell phones, iPads, you name it. But the internet can really pose as a challenge for parents who want to make sure their kids get away from inappropriate activity. We have Dave Hatter from Libertas Technologies here to help us out this morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you.
First of all, here's the thing. Kids know more about the internet than probably their parents do.
I think that's probably true in most cases.
And that's a scary thing.
Well, it is. And kids don't understand the consequences of the stuff they're doing in many cases. So, yeah, it makes this pretty tricky. And this stuff advances so fast now that it's hard to keep up with it, even if you do it for a living. So.
Absolutely. I know, I don't have kids right now, but I have nephews and nieces. And I know one of my family members gave my nephew like a PSP and then walked away and just gave it to him. Didn't realize that there was internet on it, didn't realize there were all these things on it. So what can parents do to monitor that?
Well, I think the first thing is just to try to educate themselves, because anytime you give any kid a device that can get on the internet, there's a possibility they're going to get into stuff that you really would rather them not get into. Most of these things have ways to control the permissions, kind of lock them down. There are companies that make software for computers, and even now some of these mobile devices that give you more control over what the kid can do. But again, I think the first thing is just understanding, and as we were talking off air a minute ago, some of these apps out there, the only way they make any money is to collect information. You know, the app is free, so the only way they can make money is to sell you something directly through the app, or push ads to you, or collect information they can sell to someone else. So they want your information, and many of these things are collecting your information quietly in the background, or your kids' information, and you don't realize what they're collecting or what they're doing with it. So, you know, education is a big part of it.
Absolutely, and they need to be involved. Parents need to get involved.
Definitely.
So when a kid goes up to them and say, Mom, Dad, you know, my friends have been playing this game, this app on your cell phone, can I use it? What should they do?
Well, probably the first thing they should do is, you know, check out whatever that app is. You know, you can go to like the iTunes store or the Google Play store, read the reviews on it, see what other people are saying. You could search online and see what's out there. But when you download these things, generally they're, you know, many of them have privacy policies, some don't. You can see if they have one, you can see what it says they're going to do, you can see what kind of permissions it wants, because a lot of these things, again, before they can make the phone or tablet or whatever collect certain information, you have to give it permission. It'll ask you, and you have to say yes to it, because that's the way that the devices themselves work.
Right.
But if you don't understand what it's asking, or if you don't, of course the kid's just going to go, sure. So, you know, kind of educating yourself about what they want to put on there, what it says it's going to collect, and again, understanding that in many cases, all people want is the information. And, you know, identity theft is a big problem as a result of this, because they're collecting information about your kids. They might sell it to someone who then goes out and creates a, quote, new identity as your kid. So, yeah, it shouldn't scare people off, you know, but you just got to educate yourself and understand what the risks are and do a little research.
Be aware.
Exactly.
So with all these items that they have, iPads, cell phones, are there, you know, restriction locks or something that they can look into to...
There are. One of the things that makes it tricky, though, is each one of these platforms, whether it's iPhone or Android, how the settings work, what they say, what they mean are different. So, you know, my best suggestion would be, if you have a Google tablet or phone, or you have an Apple tablet or phone, go out and search on Google, you know, how do I restrict access to the internet, or how do I keep my kids safe? There's plenty of information out there about specific settings you can make on the phone that will lock some of that stuff down. But, of course, you pointed out your kids may know more about it than you, and they may turn around and undo it.
It's true.
You know, the other problem with this is a lot of this stuff is so new. You know, the market is changing very quickly. These devices are changing very quickly. So there hasn't been a lot of thought put into how to protect this yet. And the FTC has kind of weighed in on this and put some new rules in place. So, yeah, it's mostly, at this point, it's education and, to your point, involvement. Knowing what your kids are doing, kind of checking it out once in a while and making sure there's nothing, you know, too crazy going on there.
Yeah, don't let your 7-year-old kid surf YouTube on his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Or her own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Because they will find bad stuff. It's just a matter of time.
Scary, but it's a harsh reality. And these kids today know how to do anything on the internet. They're pretty smart. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.